Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today in history, 1859, we have the execution of John Brown, who was a little bit of a religious zealot, very much against slavery, and he thought the best way to end it was to take up arms with his sons and a couple of friends, if you want to call them friends, and basically go to plantations and liberate the slaves at gunpoint and murdering some white folks along the way. He gets caught. It's the Harper's Ferry incident, but today's the day he gets executed, and the words that he uses at his execution, the sins of this country shall only be washed away, but with blood. Not too far down the road, we get the American Civil War. Also today in history, 1970, we have the formation of the EPA under President Nixon. Now, Nixon gets a lot of bad rap because of the whole Watergate thing. But there were a couple of good things that he did, and one of those would be the Environmental Protection Agency. Best case example I give you as to why the EPA is important. Love Canal, Niagara Falls, New York. Hooker Chemical Company dumped a bunch of toxins into the ground, 50-gallon steel drums, something like 12,000 of these drums. The land was sealed over. It was eventually sold to make a little suburban community, and the people there started getting sick. The kids were getting sick, people noticing things leaking into the basement, strange smells, and what it turned out to be was all these toxic chemicals being leaked back into the out of their burial site into people's homes. And the families reached out, and they contacted the news, and there was a big movement. But eventually the government sent some EPA agents there, and hello, Chavo. And how the whole thing got resolved was the mothers basically told these EPA agents, well, if it's safe enough for us to live here, it's safe enough for you to stay here. So they basically kidnapped them within a couple hours. Then President Carter basically worked out a deal. Homes were bought. Still a little bit of an issue going on there. You can check it out if you ever watch the Retro Report, because the chemicals are still there. And that's always the problem with government super sites, is who pays for it, how long is it going to take, and then what do you do with the contaminated soil. It's a weird process, but everybody have a good night.